as I'm running, I'm like this, and it, boom, 50 Cent comes up.
Oh man, okay.
This is no word of lie. 50 Cent.
This is why you like.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, yeah,
50
okay.
Cent appears in this Coma dream, and
What
he
a
says
guy, by the way.
yeah, he's
He's there
the
for
goat.
everyone.
And he says to me, he says, "Hustle or die, Jack."
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? No, dead ass. And I'm thinking, oh, so it's good that I moved this lady, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah. So then I go, all right, 50. And then, and then,
That's what his mates call him.
Yeah.
yeah, we're on that level.
Yeah.
And then she's gone. And the doctor, as soon as I'm running past her to the door, a doctor comes from the side door and he gets me.
Was it Dr. Dre?
Wish. He would have let me go, but he gets me with a cough and I die.
When you're in a coma,
Yeah.
you had like, I don't know what the right word is, not dreams,
Yes.
but you were thinking of something
So this.
and it kept repeating.
Yeah. So this is for me. You're gonna like this.
I was going to say, this is one for you.
You're
Right.
gonna like this.
I'm actually going to pee. What?
Is it?
I heard this the other day, but
That's
I'll
fine.
Okay. I'm not sure what to expect now.
So basically, what's the best way to put it? I didn't know what this was. I was in. What I've been put. Last memory is I'd been put asleep.
Yeah.
I haven't been awake yet. So it's in the coma. It could be the first coma that I was induced into. It could be the second one.
Yeah.
Either way, it feels like it's about 3 days, right? And the best way to kind of explain this is, okay, if you're looking ahead, you're looking at the cameras,
Yeah.
and you've just got to look at it, and you can't move your head,
Yeah.
right? Imagine you can't move your head. After about 10 seconds, you're gonna start thinking, oh yeah, what am I gonna have for dinner later? Or
Yeah,
you're gonna go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Imagine you couldn't change your thoughts. You are right on it.
Yeah.
And that is all it is. And you can't even dictate what you want to think about. There's a camera there. And
Yeah.
I had this. I was in a hospital bed, and I was looking forwards, and I couldn't change anything. And but I knew it wasn't real. I knew that I
Okay.
wasn't actually in this hospital bed.
Yeah.
And I was saying to myself, okay, let's think of something else. I couldn't. And I remember at the point in my head, Vikings came into my head, the series, and I was thinking, let's think of Vikings. And I couldn't. And it wasn't even the dialogue. It was just, you're there now. And then the nurse comes up to me. And basically, when you've got a intubation, you've got a tube that runs your lungs, and they've got to remove the fluid. So they'll put down this other tube, and they squeeze it, and it fills your lungs, and you cough up all the crap. That's it. And it's horrible. And basically, in real life, I was super scared of this, and because I didn't know what it was, and I'd bite the tube, which raised the pressure and meant that it like really pulled out a lot, which was a horrible experience. And we had to keep doing it because the test results weren't right, or I don't know, I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
The nurse would come up to me in this kind of dream, and she would go, oh, Jack, you're awake. It's time for your cough. All right. I didn't quite know what this was. Puts it in. I do this cough. I choke up, and I die. Right? And I died. And I'm there, and I vividly just died. And it's gone black, and it killed. It, like, killed my whole lung. It was like, boom, 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 right into my gut. And then it went black. And then it's kind of like, I get this kind of regained consciousness, and I open my eyes, and she's there, doing the little thing, turns around. Oh, Jack, you're awake. And I'm like, okay, time for a cough. She gives me a cough. And I'm like, where? And I die. And I died again.
Right.
And then the third time, I'm waking up and I'm thinking, no way. So I've got my eyes closed. I open them. She's there. I close them. She won't interfere from sleep. It gives me time to try and think.
Yeah.
But I can't leave this environment. And there's not much I can think about. So I'm just here, closing it. And how did she do? I think she pinched my cheekbone. And she went, Jack. And I was, that's so annoying. I looked at her, cough, boom, boom, dead. And I've died. It kills. And that's the thing that I can't get across is like, it hurt.
Yeah.
Then, again, and I'm thinking, okay, look, I'm just going to hide from her. I'm going to hide from her again. She's going to pinch my face. That doesn't hurt as much as dying. So she's pinching it, I think fine. Then she was sneaky, man, because she's pinching my arm. She's saying, Jack's shaking me. I think, I can understand this. Then she goes, boom. My eyes were looking at her because she opened it. And she goes, boom, cough, dead. Then I was like, when she pulls my eyelid down and she puts the light in it, I'll just look up. And
Yeah.
she doesn't know then. It kind of worked. She's like, Jack, I know you're awake. And I'm looking up. I was like, I got you. I'm not dying now. And then this was kind of when, later I'm going to mention, this was a turning point for me because I was like, you know what? I'm fed up of this because she was going, Jack, belittling me, like moving my head. And I'm thinking, look, I can handle this because I just want to rest. But I thought, no. And I remember, boom, moved her, pushed her over there, and I hopped out the bed. And as I'm running, I'm like this, and 50 Cent comes up.
Oh man. Okay.
This is no word of lie. 50 Cent.
This is why you're like.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, yeah,
50
okay.
Cent appears in this Coma dream. And
What
he
a
says,
guy, by the way.
Yeah, he's
He's
the
there for
goat.
everyone.
And he says to me, he says, hustle or die, Jack.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? No, dead ass. And I'm thinking, oh, so it's good that I moved this lady, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah. So then I go, all right, 50. And then, and then,
That's what his mates call him.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
we're
what I
on
call
that
it.
level.
Yeah.
And then she's gone. And the doctor, as soon as I'm running past her to the door, a doctor comes from this side door and he gets me.
Was it Dr. Dre?
Wish. He would have let me go, but he gets me with a cough and I die. I'm thinking, all right, but I know what I'm meant to do here. I'm meant to get out. So I'm waiting. She's looking over there. I hop out. I know the doctor's going to come in. I just hold that door, open this door. It's like level 2's done. I'm sick. And then I'm thinking, where the hell am I? And then I hear them. Oh, he's gone. And they're chasing me. And it's like a platform game, right? And I can kind of at some point see myself running and they're chasing. And I've gone past, I would, maybe I get to level 4 and then I die. And then I've got to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I die. And I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I got to 8. Die. Then I forget it. And 6. And I'm dying. Like, that's the thing that is like, it's not like a game. It's like it's actually hurting. And basically, I did this for about 45 minutes of just pure dying. And I maybe got to like 20. And I'm thinking, where do I go from here, man? Like, what is this? Like, and this is when I was laying there and they're stabbing my face again and pulling my eyes. And I'm thinking, I'm just gonna lay. I'm just gonna deal with it. Like, what's she gonna do that hurts more than me actually done? And then she's getting really frantic at me. Jack. Okay, come on. I got really competitive. I thought, I'm gonna beat this game. I don't even know what it is, but I'm gonna beat it.
Yeah.
I move her, get out, ding, 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 ding. I'm getting to like level 30, and then 50 comes up to me again. Actually, no, I've jumped the gun. I get to about level 30, and then my mum's at the bed. I'm thinking, sick, mum's there. And she's looking at me like this. I'm thinking, what is that? Oh, we're escaping. Yes. So I'm escaping. And then I couldn't get past level 30 because there was like this cashier desk and I had to go under it. But they just went like that and all Jack. And basically my mum distracted them and I'd go. And then we were getting to like level 40. This is when basically mum goes, oh, doctor, he's escaping. And I'm like, what? We got snaked. And then I'm thinking, I'm going to try again. And I died again, literally. And I died again and again. And I'm trying to get mum past to level me. Now 50 appears. He says to me, I mean, it's so weird. I don't know why. He said to me, Jack, everyone will snake you. And I was like, what?
That's a hard lesson from 50,
And
What
I said
guy.
to him, like, okay,
Yeah.
fine, carrying on. But he comes in, he's gone. 50, come back, man. Like,
Come back,
guide
man.
me.
Yeah, please.
But anyway, everyone will snake you, hustle or die. Okay, let's go. So we're going, and mum's there. I said, oh, yo, mum, can you get me a drink from the vending machine? I've gone. Now I'm getting to like level 51, 52. I get to about 70. But every increment, I'm dying. And sometimes, and it's also kind of slyly dreaming, so I'm trying to remember it. Anyway, about 3 hours have probably passed of just constant. And then I'm thinking, okay, when's it end? 50, 100? Like, I'm hoping it's level 100.
Thanks.
That was a sneeze, by the way.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a weird
Sorry.
sneezer.
It's
That's
just
impressive.
everyone always thinks it's a cough.
Even through all that, but I sneeze weird, so.
But I know what I'd rather. I got to my girlfriend then came and I jumped some levels and then I had to distract her.
Yeah.
And then my friend Redea came, and this was really random because your mum and girlfriend Redea, like, don't get me wrong, we're great friends, but super random. So we're there and we're trying to get through these levels. We get to about level 100. We're probably getting close to 150, and I had to snake him as well. And I got to level 150 and I completed it, right? And this is where 50 comes in with basically the whole of G unit. I'm at the top of the hospital.
Come on.
And they're on a chopper.
Yeah.
And they all just jump off.
They do that to you first sometimes.
And a flag came out of the top of the building and I was like, I've done it. Like, sick. And then well done. And then I wake up in a hospital bed. And I'm like, sorry, what?
Yeah.
So you literally won life as your prize.
well, no, because I'm not awake. I'm not awake yet. I'm asleep still.
Oh.
And I'm in a hospital bed.
Right.
And I'm like, geez, I did the whole game again but it was slightly different. It was about becoming the world's best football player. And I had to escape hospital and become the world's best football player. And what was really annoying, the way they dictated it was if you there's a stand over a pitch in Barcelona apparently, and if I got there, which I could just run from the hospital straight there, but if I sat in this, the first person to sit in the seat is declared the best footballer in the world. And whenever I got there, I'd sit there and the seats moved. And I'm like, oh, what? I thought I'd done it, and now someone else has got it. Then Rodea came in again, and he's really good at football, and he trains really hard. And it's like, then he was against me, and I was like, oh, this is so long. Like, we had to eventually, I did win that game. 50 Cent did help out again.
He's good at football as well.
And mate, I bet he is. And he actually became World Player of the Year. But
wow, he snaked you.
Yeah, true.
But he did. Everyone does. But then I woke up, and this was in real life.
Yeah.
And this was the memory that I had so vividly. But I was trying to explain it, and I couldn't for quite a while because I was intubated. I couldn't talk. And I had a board, and you can't write anything out. Like I could barely move my hand. Yeah. And I came to it later, and it was I just got out of hospital. I'm in the car, and I'm 2-hour journey back, and I'm chatting to my girlfriend. I'm saying like, trying to piece things together. I said, how long was I in a coma for? Because I literally said to her, I said I had this dream, and it felt like it was about 3 days straight. So that's how long it all felt to complete it. 3 days of just pure looking, boredom, and dying constantly, like thousands of times. And I'd said it felt about 3 days, and she said, yeah, you're in it for 3 days.
Mad.
And I was like, what? Then I was telling it to her, and she's going, no. She's like, Jack, that's really weird. I said, why? She said, well, when they were really scared that they were going to lose you, the first thing they'd do was pinch your face, and they were calling your name. She said the second thing they were doing was looking at your eyes, seeing if you were responsive to the light. And they said they knew you were, but every time you were looking up. And I'm like, what? And I'd already told her this, and and then she goes, and the final thing, 50 Cent walked in. No, joking.
That'd be sick.
She said, hustle or die, and he left. But no, then on the day where I was really bad and they thought I was going to die, first person to visit was my mum. Second person to visit was my girlfriend. And third person to visit, the only day he visited, because it was the only day he could make, was Rodea.
Man,
which is insane. So so there's a direct link there, and I'm convinced that if I'd stopped trying to overcome, if I wasn't as competitive, and there wasn't the things that I wanted to, my family were coming in, and I was thinking, yeah, I'm going to do this, and I was doing it for 50.
Yeah,
but
man.
Then I was like, if I had stopped and I just laid there and relaxed, I think in real life that was when they were the most scared, and I'd have died.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And then there's another example where my friend, who I'd met on the ward after I'd been moved from intensive care just to liver specialist ward, it was the first time I'd laughed since the accident, and basically when you're intubated, your voice goes. You can't really I had to spend 35 minutes on this weird machine just to try and regain my breathing afterwards, because laughing sent it off. But man, it was worth it. So it's one of those things you're probably not meant to laugh at, but I think you're definitely allowed, and he'd like it. I was with this guy called Davey, and he's quite a big guy, and he's a Scottish accent, and I'm not going to try it, but I wish I could do it. And he's got a Scottish accent.
Hey, watch out for that train over there.
Davey, is that you? It's something from Braveheart. You'll take my
freedom, but you cannot take my health. Sorry, I can't do Scottish today.
Freedom.
Okay. Yeah, Scottish is not my.
Carry on.
Sorry, it was worth a brief interlude. Davey was like, go on. I said, did you think of stuff when you're in a coma? And he was like, yeah. I was like, oh, I'm mad. He said, go on, you tell me yours first. And he's roasting me, saying, you thought you were in GTA, like you're such a kid. And I'm thinking, oh, I didn't even play GTA much, but I wish it was. However, and I said, go on, what was yours? And he'd been in a coma for 6 months.
Mad.
All right? And he says to me, he says, me, Jack, he said, I thought I was a vegetable. I said, what? He said, yeah, I thought I was a vegetable. I said, no, you're lying. And I was almost laughing because I was thinking, that's insane. But mine was insane, so fair. And I didn't. And I was thinking, all right, I'm going to hold it together for you, Davey. Here. I said, what were you doing? He said, well, I was on a market stand. And I'm like, he's big, muscly, like bearded man. You're on a market stand there? Yeah, and I was a vegetable. What happened? He said, well, when the doctors came over, I thought they were going to pick me and eat me. Like they were going to take him and eat him at home and cook him. And he was so scared that every time they come over, he went like this, I'd go, yeah. And he would hide. And he was hiding from him. Yeah. And I was like, okay. And he would hide and hide and hide. And basically what it meant was he was unresponsive when they were trying to talk to him. So in real life, he never came out of the coma until he was responsive. And I said to him, when did it change? He said, well, eventually I was so fed up that I just thought, well, you know what, eat me. And I started responding. I said, yeah, I'm here, you know, like, come get me. And he woke up shortly after that, he says. And so that means all the science in the world, if the doctor had gone up to Davey and said, whilst he's in a coma, Davey, you know, you're not a vegetable, you might have woken up. We're not going to eat you.
You're
Then
going to get all doctors going up to anyone in a coma.
and they're going to be acting like 50 Cent, you know, hustle or die, hustle or die. But the final thing, as I'm sitting there, I say, go on, Davey. He says, what vegetable were you? Me, Jack. I was a courgette. Send me. I think he was, for 6 months of his life, he was a courgette.
Yeah.
Like, for the first 2 weeks of the Euros, I was battling with 50 Cent. You know, well, 3 days of those Euros, I was with 50 Cent, like, dead ass, and he was a courgette.
That's mad.
So, like, it's insane. But
Yeah.
it's that's kind of what I mean, though. Like, for those 3 days, I was fighting so much that when you come out of it, there was a point where I was awake and my drugs were lowering, and I was looking at the people around me who were kind of still intubated and asleep, and I was thinking, man, I was actually like weirdly jealous, because I was like, they're doing it. Like, it wasn't like, it was basically because I felt like, well, I've gone through all this for what? I felt it was unfair.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is just like, I'm suffering here. I can't do anything. I'm not going to be able to do any, like, the rest of my life, like, well, not the rest of my life, like, the next however long, I'm not going to be able to walk. I can't do this. That's so unfair. And I was looking at them and I was like, they're just asleep. They don't have to deal with this. And but in truth, they were fighting. And I think that's what's kind of amazing about ICU is everyone there, and they're all fighting. Staff are fighting, balancing. And after that, I mean, I was one of the first people to learn to walk on ICU. They said it would take me 6 weeks, and I'd learn within like 3 days. Then what else was there? There was quite a few things that I got a lot of milestones out. I was doing the hill sprints within a month. I was playing football around
hill
then
sprints
too.
still.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And then I think it was within the 6 weeks of walking. I was already doing Pana the same way pretty much before.
So this was like 2021 then, right? Or was
It
it
was last summer, so during the Euros.
That's crazy. And even now you're just back playing
Yeah,
again.
I did a pretty cool recap video. I think it was 4 months later.
Yeah.
And every skill in it was synths.
Okay.
And like every one of them was a new skill that no one had done before.
Oh, mad.
Which I thought was quite good, so I was quite proud of that.